Hey, so I wanted to talk to you about an excellent exercise that I was taught this week. So a big shout out to my coach for sharing this and going through it with me. So for a bit of context, I had a period of a couple of days where I wasn't quite eating right. I'd had a little bit of alcohol, more than I generally would. I'm not a big person that is into my alcohol anymore. But I had a really bad night's sleep. I'd gone to bed pretty late because I wanted to watch the end of a film. Um, I woke up several times in the night and I was interrupted uh, for various reasons. And I woke up and I could feel my state was in a bad way. So normally I'm quite a positive person, just get up, even if I've had a bit of a strange night, I just get up and get on with it. But this was like a dark cloud that was following me around. And it seemed strange. I couldn't quite shake it off. And even the normal things that I would do. So my go-to really is exercise, do a bit of HIIT, push my body, change my state and get it into a better mood. And my physiology and my state seemed to be a lot better. But this was still hanging around. So I think it was a combination of maybe not eating very well from the previous couple of days, definitely the lack of sleep, um, and the alcohol as well. On top of that, I guess, my situation in terms of work and what I want to do and how I'm going to do it is unclear. So this all started to sort of compound on top of each other. Now, fortunately, I had a session with my coach uh, on this day, and we went through this exercise, which she talked me through it, but there was actually many layers to it. And I want to share that with you because I think I'm a very self-aware person, so I'm aware of my thoughts and feelings that, well, something at least is going on, and I can't always listen to them, but I realize, okay, something's going on or bothering me. And there's so many tools and techniques out there, but it's easy to forget about those. I've been in therapy before for quite some time, uh, no necessary trauma, but just to understand myself better and to process things differently than I had done in the past. And during those therapy sessions, there was loads of tools and techniques. But this was a new one that I'd never done before. And I love to try these new things just to see if they're aligned to me and if they can bring some better results. So what I noticed, as I said, was I was really quite down on myself. There were some negative thoughts, a conversation had happened a day or two previously, and it kept playing over in my mind. Now, normally I'm just like, okay, that's a thought, let it go. But this kept coming back. And what was actually happening internally was I was fighting this side, almost like the good and bad sides of my brain. And that was taking a lot of effort. So I was tired anyway, and it was compounded by this two sides. So the exercise was, my coach said, right, take a minute, just think, then for 5 minutes, just write on a piece of paper. Write unfiltered, don't worry about spellings or anything. Just write everything that's bad going on a piece of paper and do it for 5 minutes. Man, so I wrote about 3 pages. It just absolutely vomited out of me. It was quite scary in some ways. So I wrote all these things, all the parts of my mind, all these thoughts, these feelings, many things in my life, not just one aspect. It was a whole load of things. And it was uncensored, it was swear words, it was really quite something. And then when I'd done that, I actually looked at it and I realized that a lot of the wording that I was using to almost beat myself up was really terrible. I would never speak to anyone like that in day-to-day life. Yet, for some reason, internally, I am so hard on myself. But because I'd written it down, what the coach then said was, okay, take it, hold the piece of paper up, which was actually 3 pieces of paper, tear it in half, tear it in half again, smaller bits, keep ripping it up, keep ripping it up, keep ripping it up until you can't rip it up anymore. Then go and take that paper to the toilet, flush it down the toilet. Now, at first I was a bit concerned that actually it's paper going down the toilet, but it's paper at the end of the day. But there's something magical that happens is when you take all of those ideas, all those thoughts, and you put it down on paper, it's a way to get out of your brain. Now, what I realized is I'm a very logical person. I like things to be certain ways, and I like to think through problems. Now, the challenge with that in my brain is that I try to rationalize things and I try to think about it. But the physical act of taking that and writing it down and just saying, okay, that's on paper, it's out of my head, and then flushing it away, watching that paper disappear down the toilet, does something magical for me. It's really like, okay, that was a thought, I know it's now in the toilet and it's gone. And that was really great. So the second step of the exercise was to actually replace all of that negative stuff with some positive stuff. So I had to say some positive things about myself. So where those negative things were things like how I was a bad father, things I'd done wrong in the past, that I wasn't earning money and I was scared about what my next steps were, and I was letting people down, a whole load of stuff. But I replaced that with good stuff. I am a good dad, and I do connect very well with my children. They are a big part of my life, and a host of other stuff. And I started to be kind to myself. And so replace that negative stuff with kind stuff. And I said these words out loud. I didn't say them in my head, I said them out loud. So it was nice that the coach was there, but I guess you can do this without having someone opposite. You just have to physically say the words. So we did that for another 5 minutes. And then on top of that, she said, just list out the things that you're grateful for. And I started listing. I was so grateful for, honestly, it felt like everything in my life. And I could feel it as it was going along. But this negative mood that I had been sitting in for maybe, I don't know, 4 hours before, just gone away. It was replaced with this, not euphoria, but I felt confident. I felt happy. I was happy with the world. I realized I am in a very fortunate position against so many other people in the world. And I was like, wow, this feels great. And it's a resource I'm going to use time and time again. And I think the fact of putting it on paper or saying it out loud, having that physical thing rather than work through in my mind, that's another level for me. It really takes it out of my mind and just makes it more tangible in many ways. So I'm ever so grateful for my coach. If you're stuck and you're in this mood, I would recommend it. If you're logical like me and you want to get out of your own head, do it, absolutely. And it's amazing because my solution was going to be, okay, we'll just write the day off, just be a bit grumpy and you'll sort it out tomorrow. I didn't need to do that. There are ways that I got that time back. I spent the rest of the day in a very good mood, and which actually I'd spent some time with my children in the afternoon, and I realized how much better is that. I can spend the time with the children in a good mood, appreciating who they are. And I think part of that gratitude practice really helped with that. And the rest of my day went really well, and I was calm with the children. I was happy. Wow, honestly, it was amazing, and such a great way to reclaim your day and reclaim your mind and just get rid of the old stuff. And what it allowed me to do is, actually, I realized I needed sleep, so I went to bed earlier. I was still watching something on the TV, but it enabled me just to press that button, not go, feel sorry for myself. So if you're in that space, you're having a bad day, week, month, year, whatever it is, try doing that. It might take you longer, it might be quicker, but just try it. Honestly, it was a game changer for me, and something, a great tool and resource that I will continue to use. So if you're listening and you're watching and you're in that place, try it, let me know. And if this helps absolutely just one person, really so grateful for that. It's if it helped me, and if it can help you, fantastic. So that's it from me. Next week, I'm looking to talk to you about rules. Sounds a bit boring, I understand, but it's a thought that I had a long time ago when I started my business, and just setting simple rules. But this is something that we do later on. But catch me next week for the video and I'll explain more. So have a good week, and I'll catch you next week. Bye.